Hello everyone, my name is Andrew and this is Scott and we are going to be doing our very first podcast called Beaven and Wright.
I'm so here for this.
I'm so ready.
I'm very excited.
I'm so ready.
I'm very excited.
Very rogue setup, early doors.
First one, come on.
It's the first one. We'll when you guys give us millions of pounds, we'll set up. But
Very much looking forward to that.
Yeah, we'll set up a proper studio and stuff. But for now, we're sitting in my little office, baking under a studio light. So yeah. Pretty good. So, for those of you who don't know, me and Scott are huge Chelsea fans. I'm donning Chelsea just to prove a point here, I think, more than anything. And a lot of this podcast is going to be about Chelsea and football, but a lot of other things are also going to be talking about things like, I don't know, life, things away
sports,
from Chelsea.
Generally, life, anything that pops up
that
we want to chat about, we're going to chat about.
Yeah.
Anything that makes us frothing at the mouth with anger, I'm going to chat about as well.
Scott's a man, I'm a man, and this is Beaven and Wright.
Just man stuff,
yeah,
right?
Just man stuff. Cool. So we're going to start off with Chelsea, and we're going to talk firstly about our brand new managerial appointment, Enzo Maresca. But first, let's talk about Pochettino. Pochettino's gone. What are your thoughts about Pochettino being sacked in the first place?
I am completely indifferent about it. I didn't really want him to be manager in the first place. I really didn't. He's too Tottenham-y for me. There's too many skeletons in his locker.
Yeah.
I struggled with him. At the start, it was awful because it was terrible. So I just struggled to back him fully. Then we started playing all right. So I was like, not turning, but I could bear it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the only problem for me was if we'd have won a trophy, it would have always been tainted.
Yeah.
It would have always been, the Tottenham managers won you a trophy. And it didn't sit right. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not going to say I'm happy he's gone because he was actually doing a pretty good job towards the end. And I feel like he was getting the team playing well. But I struggled with the whole thing, if I'm honest.
Yeah. I was happy when he was appointed because I think his appointment made sense for the squad that we had.
I agree.
Like a really young squad, not a lot of experience. But then as the season went on, we had some horrible performances. Like I think back to the Brentford game, the Wolves game, just so many bad games. And a lot of it was said about the winning run we went on under him. But if you actually look at the games, a lot of games we won in the last minute. We played terribly anyway. Like, there wasn't actually that many performances this season where I can remember us genuinely playing well for the whole 90 minutes. I think it might genuinely be the last 5 games and a couple of games against Liverpool and City where I do actually think we played well.
We had spells where you were thinking, we're going to let a goal in there.
Yeah, well, every game I thought we were going to concede. And I think a lot of people were angry because they think they saw that with Pochettino leaving, they were like, oh, okay, yeah, but... It'll be really great to bring because we've got the run we've been on, but let's not forget what came before it, and it was really bad.
What do we expect, really? He's been thrown in. He's been given a bunch of 21-year-olds and Thiago Silva, who is a legend, by the way. I love Thiago Silva. I'll never say a bad word about him.
No.
But you can't throw a bunch of 21-year-olds together and expect them to be a team immediately and play well. We have no leaders in that team.
No, I think it's scary that now he's gone. Like what we're replacing him with, every player we're linked with is nowhere near in the ilk of someone highly rated. But I think we've got a whole very very going to be very long transfer window. I feel it's going to be a lot of rumours, a lot of speculation. I think we're going to be very Chelsea about it, and there's going to be a lot of ridiculous rumours and a lot of nice rumours that aren't going to come to fruition. So
I'm stressed out already. We've not even started.
Yeah.
The transfer saga.
We're only 4 minutes into the podcast, and
the transfer saga stressed me out already. Oh,
but
I don't want to.
But let's talk about Maresca. So Poch is gone. We're both very indifferent about it. Let's talk about Enzo Maresca. Thoughts on his appointment?
I just can't. Again. At least Pochettino, I could see why they've done it. Even if I didn't like it because he was very Tottenham, I can see why. I can see sense. We've appointed a championship manager. Fair enough, he done all right with Leicester, but in the championship.
Yeah.
Purely on the fact that he's worked under Pep. I don't really see any other reason.
Yeah.
Or he knows the squad. Oh, okay, cool. So, he's watched us play.
I don't know
know
if you remember the Sky Sports brief that they put on the squad of what Chelsea are looking for, and then manager, but it was like, plays possession-based football, just, it says yes to the owner. Basically.
I did notice win a trophy wasn't one of the things.
No, it was.
Was it? Oh, okay.
It was challenge for
trophies, not win trophies.
Yeah, it was. I think the Maresca appointment is they've taken a punt, but I think this is weird across all football clubs at the moment. No club is going for established managers. Like Bayern Munich hiring Company off, they got relegated with Burnley.
That's so rogue.
Is crazy. But Borussia Dortmund manager left 2 days ago. Don't know if you were aware of that. Yeah, and they've appointed Nuri Sahin, who was their ex-player, as their manager. Who's like 35. He was a coach under the other guy, and he's become the manager. Man United were linked with rogue. I mean, they were linked with Tuchel, but they were also before they decided to keep Ten Hag. They were linked with so many
same guys as us,
McKenna.
Right? Yeah, McKenna.
Yeah.
Who's the other guy?
Potter and Southgate there as well. So.
Oh, Gareth.
I would have loved Gareth Southgate to have been at Man United.
I'd be so up for that.
Yeah, I'm down for it.
As a person who's not a fan of Man United.
Or Gareth Southgate.
Yeah. I'd be very up for him going there.
Yeah. I just think the Maresca appointment, the Leicester team to begin with, that start of the season looked incredible. They were winning every game under the sun.
We'd have got them promoted.
Their last 17 games, they were terrible. Their record was really bad. They threw I think a 17-point lead away.
Yeah, they tried to lose it.
Yeah,
But my point with him is, right, we could have gone in and done the Leicester job and got them promoted. Realistically, it doesn't take much skill to get Leicester promoted to the Championship. Yeah. That squad is unbelievable. It's the highest value squad in the league. The wages are incredible. So they were going to win that league anyway. I don't know. Again, you've got, like you said, Tuchel's available. Like Xavi left Barcelona. You've got people available that have Champions League, which is where we want to be, challenging for Champions League. We have these people available. They are there to go and find, to go and make offers to. Just getting a yes man in, I struggle with, because now the manager is going to be the best football brain in your club, but he's not buying the players.
No.
He's not
really having much input.
He's not really having much input as to who comes in and what system is going to play and who goes. So you get someone in who knows everything about football and then you don't listen to them.
Yeah.
Like, that's the problem with Tuchel.
Mm-hmm.
The guy knows he did such a good job. He won us the Champions League. He won us the Club World Cup. He won us the Super Cup. The guy is he's a master.
I do think that his transfer activity might have killed us.
Well,
because we went all Tuchel signings at the start of, not this the season just gone, the last season before that, which brought us the likes of Koulibaly, Kukureya, and Aubameyang, and Sterling. Right. So I think I think with any club model there is a merit to going some club signings and then others, but
you can see where he's going with those guys though.
Yeah,
they're tried and tested.
They just experienced players that were built, and then they completely changed it after they hired that way. I think they were like, no, we're not doing this. We're going to do our own thing. I do think that Maresca's appointment could end up being a good one, but I always have a feeling it could be a Maurizio Sarri 2.0. Is kind of the feeling I get. Very possession based, very heavy possession based.
I actually didn't mind Sarri.
To the point where it was boring. At Leicester, a lot of Leicester fans complained about it being very boring. I was doing my research. Judging by the way he plays, it looks like one of the fullbacks will become an inverted midfielder. It's the trend nowadays. Of all top sides is to have a fullback who inverts in midfield. So either Kukureya or Reece James end up in centre mid.
I mean, Reece James has done it before. Kukureya was doing it this year.
Kukureya was doing it and then doing a mediocre job of it.
He was actually doing all right.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about Mark Kukureya just yet. I feel like we'll get on to Mark Kukureya.
That's for episode 2.
Yeah, Mark Kukureya. I could do a whole pod on Mark Kukureya and how much I dislike him.
Really?
I cannot stand him. But I think that, I think Maresca, okay, he knows players from the squad. He knows Palmer, he knows Sterling. He knows Adebayo, who he just signed. We'll talk about him in a bit.
Yeah.
I feel like the profile of players we were looking to bring in will suit his system. I think the players we have suit his system. I do think we have a very, very heavy possession-based squad, looking at the players we have, especially in midfield. Enzo, I feel like, will be a very big player under him. I think Palmer will do well. I don't think the team will... I hopefully will stop seeing basketball matches at the Bridge, which is what we saw every game under Pochettino, which is basketball matches. It was fun to watch, but it was terrifying. Yeah. And you never knew what you were going to get. And I hope with this we'll know a bit more about what we're going to get from a Chelsea team, and in a good way, on what I'm hoping for. He got really good performances out of his wingers. He, if you look at their Leicester wingers numbers with Mavidi and I can't remember who the other guy is on the other side, but they had high numbers. For the Leicester, they're very direct wingers. He wants to run at people. I think that suits Madueke.
We have that, yeah.
That suits Mudryk to an extent. So I think there's I don't want to be all doom and gloom about it because I think there is some room to be optimistic. I think the fact he got that Leicester squad into such a good place. I think the reason why it went very wrong for them was because maybe the squad hit their ceiling for that system, and then when players found them out, there wasn't enough creativity in that squad to get them out of tricky situations. I think with Chelsea there is. I do think there's a squad. I mean, it got Pochettino out of some really bad situations at times, but it also sunk him. I think this squad have got a season of Premier League football under their belt, like the full team. I think anyone we bring in needs to have some Premier League or top level flight experience. I think I do think that some of the names we've been linked with don't have that whatsoever, but but neither did anything we signed. They ended up being some of our best players, like Palmer and Jackson.
Yeah.
So, I think there's some merit to Maresca. I'm very interested to see how he does. I'm not particularly a fan of the appointment. I think there's better out there with a similar profile to what we wanted. I think Xavi would have been a great appointment. But I think Xavi also would have argued so much of the owners to the point where he would have been sitting here and getting 6 months for that anyway. So I think there is some definite room for Maresca to be a good manager. I think he's got a good system for the Premier League. I think it's very on trend with what's going on. But we don't have a better squad than Man City or Arsenal.
No.
So
no, we know
we have potential there to be on par
in 4 or 5 years.
Well, yeah,
we could be amazing,
but we don't have. But Chelsea we're not going to wait for that. Chelsea aren't going to wait for that, and the fans aren't going to wait for that, especially when they go to Stamford Bridge. So, it's a very unforgiving place to be, and I think all the managers that have been there at Chelsea have found that out the hard way, and the ownership has found that out the hard way as well. So, I'm willing to be optimistic until proven wrong. I feel like we need to back him at the very least. We need to back him. Can't sink him from day one.
Well, I think we were spoiled, weren't we?
Well, yeah,
we've been spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
With high-class international players all over the pitch. We've learned to expect us to win. Abramovich was amazing.
Yeah.
You're not winning, you're gone. Even if you do win, you're gone.
Ancelotti.
Yeah. So
worst sacking we've ever done.
Yeah, we have high standards now.
But I do think towards the end of that Abramovich era, I think that there was signs that the team was from declining. I think after Conte, the team didn't bring in the players we needed to stay competitive. I think you look at the players we've replaced like Matic, Bakayoko for Matic, sorry, horrible signing. Morata, horrible signing. Higuain, horrible signing. Falcao, horrible signing. If we just go through the amount of bad signings we actually had under that last couple of years, there was a lot. None of them of which are in this squad now. Yeah, there were some successful ones. I know, regardless of your opinion on him, I think Jorginho ended up being a successful signing because he was in the side that I've triggered already. In the Champions League, I think Kovacic was for what we needed at the time was a successful signing.
I think Kovacic is amazing. He's so underrated. I
think our midfield is better now without him.
No,
I think Caicedo, Enzo. I know Lavia's not been fit. Lavia, Gallagher is all 4 of them are better than him.
I think Kovacic still gets in.
I don't.
Do you not?
No, I think what we have is better.
First season, I didn't get what he did. For me,
him and Ross Barkley. I was waiting every 60th minute for the Ross Barkley Kovacic sub.
So for me, Kovacic was a little bit like Ramirez. When he first come in, I didn't know what he did.
Don't disrespect Ramirez.
No, I love Ramirez.
Ramirez is 10 times the player that Mateo
in the
Kovacic
first half
was.
of season, I didn't really know. I was like, is he a sitter? Does he go forward? Is he an 8? What does he do? But then you realise he's like all action. I'll get all over the place. I'm doing everything.
He was a good dribbler. He could win a few tackles. Had no end product other than a couple worldies.
I feel like Kovacic was the same. He just does everything.
No, that's Kovacic. I was talking about Kovacic.
Right.
Ramirez had end product.
Yeah, Ramirez is great.
Ramirez could play. Ramirez was one of my favourite ever Chelsea players.
I'm a big fan of Ramirez.
Such a cult hero.
Yeah, he was so good.
Him, Oscar. I look at players like that. I think cult hero players. They weren't legends, but they were.
Reminiscing. We're reminiscing.
I know. We need to talk about the new stuff. So talk about new stuff. The last couple of days have really heated up with some transfer interest. So to begin with, we're going to talk about the hottest name on a lot of people's lips right now, which is Michael Elise.
Wow.
What a player.
Reading legend.
What a player, yeah. Scott's from Reading, but that counts.
Don't hold it against me.
Michael Elise, I think, is I struggle with the signing from the impact of I just don't see where. As in, I see him playing, but I just don't see who leaves. Maybe it's Madueke, I don't know. But I think that he is obviously, if every club, all of the top clubs want him, then if we're the ones to get him, then that's, a huge signing for us. I think my only concern about Elise's injury record. Injury record is really big. He's been injured for half a season for most, for a lot of the seasons he's played. We're a terribly injury-ridden side. However, a fully fit Michael Elise is probably one of the best wingers in the league.
Agreed.
He can create, he can dribble, he can pass, he can shoot, he can take free kicks. He's a very complete player. The thought of him and Cole Palmer linking up excites the hell out of me.
It's too much.
But there is some stipulations to this deal because obviously we tried to get Elise last summer. That fell through because we didn't approach Crystal Palace correctly. So they kicked off and said, we'll report you and all this kind of stuff if you try and go through with it. So Chelsea were obviously like, well, we don't want that. So we can do it. And then that's signing Cole Palmer, which I think worked out pretty well.
It went okay.
And then Elise coming in the next summer. We are in competition with Man United, Man City. We are in competition with Bayern Munich, Newcastle.
Really? Bayern Munich as well.
So big clubs. 60 million price tag seems to be what his release clause is, but there's a bit of confusion if that's just for Champions League clubs or
60 million
or for us as in But apparently I've been looking at all the reports from like the Telegraph and David Ornstein, like the big journalists, are saying that Chelsea are willing to match it regardless, and they'll just do what they have done with every player, which is a favourable payment structure.
Yeah.
Which obviously is a lot of performance related. Thoughts on Michael Elise?
I like him.
Mm-hmm.
He is very similar to Madueke. I feel like he's an upgrade.
Similar age.
Similar age. I don't want to be, again, a little bit skeptical, but bringing him in, would they then sell Madueke for financial fair play reasons? Could do. Because he's had a pretty good season. We'll probably get some money for him.
Yeah.
So if they can sell, again, I've only just thought of this, but if they can sell Madueke, I don't know, 20 million?
I think more than that.
Possible.
We bought him for 32, and I think his stocks have gone up.
Wow. Okay. So
I think his stocks are higher than that.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna pay 60 for Elise, then maybe you'd want to get more for him. But I do think Elise is better than Madueke, and
so do I.
I didn't like his attitude as well on the penalty incident.
I do think he bounced back really well after it, and ended up having some really good. He became an automatic starter every game.
No, he did. He
put himself on the pitch. He's better than Mudryk.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he's I don't think he's a more talented player than Mudryk, but I think he's a performing consistently. He's better than Mudryk.
I've not seen enough from Mudryk. I really haven't.
I don't like him. He annoys me.
I can't say I don't like him because I've not seen enough. He plays 10 minutes a week.
But when he does get consistent minutes, he doesn't really do a lot with it.
No, he does nothing.
He had probably one good game last season where I remember him because he played in the middle and he was really good and got a goal. We get the Newcastle goal, I think. No, that's a different game, but the Newcastle goal where he got he dribbled in three players.
But he's not done enough for me. I see the potential in him. I see why we brought him. I don't know. He reminds me a bit of Jasper Gronkia.
I just struggle to see what player moves out. I struggle to see where Elise Palmer.
We've got a lot of players there, haven't we?
We have. So if you go for our wingers, we have Mudryk, Palmer, Sterling, and
Sterling's gone.
Sterling won't leave.
No, he's been paid too much money, but
he's on 350 grand a week. He's not getting that anywhere else unless he goes Saudi. He's not leaving the club. He'll want to stay in the Prem for as long as he possibly can. And then I feel like I'm missing a winger here. Jackson can play off the wing. We have Angelo on loan, Maury Hutchinson on loan.
I mean, we've got 4 or 5 that can play in that.
We've just signed a Stavo Willian. Obviously, we're going to sign that Stavo guy. So there's a lot of in the next year or so. There's a lot of wingers. We have a lot of wingers. So I think Madueke would be the one to make a shift because I think Mudryk. I don't think clubs are really set on him. Whereas I think they are. Well, Madueke, you can see what you're getting out of Madueke.
Is Maatsen coming back as well?
Maatsen we'll get onto in a bit, but Maatsen is going to come back to the club. But obviously, that's a whole different story, and I disagree what the club. I know exactly what the club will do with Maatsen, and I completely disagree with it. So, overall, we like Michael Elise. I think it's going to be a really good sign him.
Yeah, big fan.
And I'm down to bring him in. We're recording this on the 14th, so so this will probably get released on the 15th, 16th once it's come out of June. So the Elise deal could really go quick from there. I think. Well, it looks like Chelsea want it done before the 30th of June. for PSR reasons.
Yeah. Everything is just that. Is that ruining football?
I think it's just making it a lot more difficult for clubs to do a lot. And you can see the point, don't you? I think a lot of the sales we make are because of PSR, but because we've put ourselves in that situation, because we've spent £1 billion.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right.
So
we've done that to ourselves.
Like, you know, if we actually just, you know, didn't spend...
If we were just normal.
If we just spent less money on, you know, a lot of terrible players, then we would be in a lot better place. The other heavy link that we've got from this one is John Duran from Aston Villa. You have no idea who this mate is.
I have to be honest. This is the first... I thought he was in a band. This is the first I've heard of this guy.
You thought it was from Duran?
Did he play for Villa?
Yes.
He did.
He played... Well, he didn't start really any games.
Okay, good, excellent.
The last game, I think it was the last game of the season, he bagged a brace against Man City to level up the game, to make it a draw.
Oh, I remember that.
Okay. He scored an absolute worldie against Liverpool as well. He was very much a bench player, came off the bench, and every bench appearance he would get a yellow card. Pretty much every time he came off the bench, he would be known for getting a yellow card. I thought we were just about to sign Nicholas Jackson from the start of the season.
You're not selling him. I've got to be honest.
However, Aston Villa don't really want to sell him, but they're having to sell him because of PSR.
Yeah.
The move, according to journalists, say it would have to be a swap deal. So one of our, as in the only way Chelsea want to make Aston Villa want to do and Chelsea want to do is if they swap one of our players for him to come in. The players that are linked with that are Conor Gallagher, which is crazy. We know if want to sell Conor Gallagher. Madueke again has been touted. Cassidy has been touted. Chukwuemeka maybe could go back.
So
but the Duran deal would only happen in a swap deal, apparently.
If we're making a swap deal, though, how does it help the finances?
So Chelsea would put money on top of it.
Yeah.
So Chelsea are paying with the player and money, apparently, for Aston Villa, which is mental. But the actual transfer fee is 40 million that they want for him, which is nuts. 40 million for John Duran.
For someone I've not heard of.
For someone who is rawer than Jackson.
Basically a bench player for Villa.
He's rawer than Jackson.
Oh, mate. I don't know.
But I've been again looking at all the scouts and all the tacticos people. Again, believe who you like. I don't really care what you think. But I'm only going off people's opinion. Everyone backs him to be a really good striker and has like the skill set to be a good striker. Like probably better than Jackson in terms of finishing and like. And also, I don't think it would make sense to just go and sign someone to replace Jackson, because I think he had a really good season all in all. All in all,
I have opinions on him.
Well, we'll get into that, but all in all, I think I don't see a harm in signing a backup. I think we really wanted Benjamin Sesko. I think that was the striker we really wanted, but then he's decided to sign the new deal with Leipzig and stay.
Fine.
So Chelsea's number 2 has been him. And the only other strikers I've heard us linked with are Solanke, who had a great season last year. Scored like 18, 19 Premier League goals. Had a good season. I'm trying to think who else, any other players we've been linked with up front. Guy Carrez from Sporting Lisbon, who scored a lot of goals in Portugal, but again, maybe wouldn't be the best for the Prem. I'm not too sure.
So again, this is a different conversation that we need to have. The names that we are mentioning as potential Chelsea strikers highlights the lack of quality footballers playing football at the moment. Quality strikers playing at the moment.
I think there's a lot of good midfielders in the world, but strikers, I think.
But good as in like, 7 out of 10 players. I had this conversation with someone the other day. I would struggle to name 5 world-class players playing at the moment. I'd struggle.
Well, I think the definition of world-class gets thrown around a lot. And I think,
top draw. Like,
but I think that now, I think the actual overall level of world class has dropped.
Yeah.
There isn't the same level because I think the money makes it a lot harder because every player is costing around the same amount regardless of their ability. Because a 10 goal a season striker is now worth £60 million.
Yeah, which is a joke.
Which is nuts.
Like,
look at the fee. Even the fees we paid for Enzo and Caicedo, 5 years ago is 32 million for both of them. Like, is in like each, 32 million each.
Yeah, I agree.
Whereas because now there's not many midfielders with their skill sets, they're now 100 million.
The quality...
Pedri at Barcelona is worth 120. Rodri is over 100 million. Like, they're midfielders. They're not strikers. They're not goal scorers. They're
just midfielders.
And I think Osimhen is a no go for Chelsea because the wages he wants are going to be way more than what we're willing to pay. And he also probably, if we're going to go to a possession-based team, doesn't really fit that.
He doesn't fit. No,
Doesn't
I've
fit
watched
that.
Napoli this year, and
They finished 10th.
yeah, they were awful. But he doesn't fit with. Well, if we want to go possession-based,
He's not a
he doesn't
possession-based
fit.
striker.
No,
And,
no. He doesn't fit in that system.
So I think sticking with Jackson makes a bit of sense. He can hold up the ball well. He's very good at dribbling. He takes on a lot of players. Very quick. The only issue is when he gets in front of the front of the goalposts, he either will score. It's a great tap in, or he misses the complete sitter. But there's also been some goals which have been he scored some really good goals. So think about the chest down volley against Everton. I think it was Everton. Where it felt very very Drogba-y, that goal where he Drogba-y. Where he chests it down and just volleys it.
I remember the first time we were linked / interested in him.
Nico
Jackson. And you were very much all over it. You were showing me videos. And I actually got a little whisper of Drogba about him. I was like, look at this guy. This is what we need. Big, strong, fast.
Big as
strong. Okay, but he's tall.
Yeah,
fine.
Yeah.
But Drogba in his first season wasn't the finished article, right? He was, again, a bit lanky, a bit all over the place, a bit gangly. And when he came in, I was like, ooh, we may have uncovered a gem here. Like, wasn't that expensive, relatively? We may have uncovered the next Drogba. Yeah. And then he tried his heart out, and he couldn't score at all.
But he did. Score.
No, he did score, and it's really...
And he scored more than most... He scored 14 goals in the Premier League last season.
It's really stressful because I know he scored 14 goals in the Premier League, but he scored a hat-trick of tap-ins against Tottenham.
Yep.
Which don't count. Because it was 9 men and Tottenham were awful, so it doesn't count.
But how many other strikers have we signed that haven't done that?
Yeah, no, not
That's
many.
why I said it's worth... I think it's worth backing him. I think 14 goals... I think 14 goals is a good return for the money we spent, which is 32 million. Which, bear in mind, I said that there's a lot of strikers that have scored only £10 million, 10 goals, that are worth practically 60 million.
It's relatively cheap.
He's 22 years old.
He's got potential.
He's 22 years old. He got 5 assists.
I'm willing to back him.
His temperament is awful.
I agree.
I think he needs to grow up very quickly.
But Drogba was like that in his first season.
But that's what I mean. That's why I think it's
falling all over the place.
Drogba didn't score that many goals in the first couple of years.
He didn't score that many goals throughout his whole career, realistically.
But the Ancelotti season, but he became a big game player. That's why.
He would do nothing in the little games, but
in the big games,
when you needed him in the big games, he would step up.
Very Cole Palmer-y.
Oh,
Cole Palmer gives
Didier.
Imagine having if Cole Palmer continue that season, by the way, it'd be ridiculous. I hope he does.
Oh,
I just hope he can just add more in-play goals rather than the 10 penalties.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
No.
Shearer scored half his goals through penalties. Like no one has a go in for that.
True.
I don't care. You've got to score penalties, mate.
I think John Duran is a very rogue shout. I don't particularly think it's the right shout. I think there's better on the market for what we're getting. For the money we're willing to spend, I think there's better strikers out there. But Chelsea have always gone for proven tested strikers, and only one of them ever paid off, which is Costa. For proven strikers that we've brought in.
I mean, some of them were half decent.
Torres had big moments. He was a very inconsistent player, but he had big moments in a Chelsea shirt.
Anelka, big fan.
Anelka was great, yeah.
Big fan of Anelka.
Huge. But
Jimmy Floyd. Oh,
yeah, but I'm talking about just recently. We signed Falcao, Higuain, Morata.
Yeah, all right.
Lukaku.
Oh, Lukaku.
He's still on our books.
Why?
Do you take Lukaku to play up front next season? No, you can't.
No.
He's an arsehole.
Yeah, he is. He's dead.
He's dead to us. But with big incomings, and we're linked with some other floaty players, but nothing too strong at the moment. I think we'll see some big links for a centre back and a left back come through. We signed Tosin.
What's going on with Chilwell?
I think the left back position is going to be really interesting this summer. I think that Cucurella is probably up for sale if the right club came in.
You think?
I think Chelsea would sell Chilwell. I think I would sell Chilwell.
I like Chilwell.
I've had enough of Chilwell.
Have you?
I don't like either of our left backs.
I've got time for Chilwell. No, I really have. He gets injured way too much. He was flying a couple of years ago.
Yeah, but
best left back.
But he gets injured every time.
Yeah.
He's unreliable. Now when he played for us, any game he played for us last season, he was genuinely awful. He was he was, and I it's gonna hurt me to say this because I hate him. I actually like Chilwell as a person more, or as like a player more. But Cucurella played better than Chilwell last season, and Cucurella is terrible.
I'm willing to give Ben Chilwell a pass for last season.
No, I'm not. He's been injured the last 3 seasons in a row. I've done.
Take your summer, get fit.
He had that opportunity to do that last summer and got injured again.
Yeah, no. I really want to give him a pass. I really do.
Chilwell has had some lovely moments in a Chelsea shirt, but I think if the right offer comes in, it's time to go.
Is it nostalgia? Am I getting too nostalgic about it?
Actually, think about his performances the last season and a half. He's been terrible.
Oh, I don't want to admit you're right, but
yeah, I am. He's been really bad, like really bad. He's not defended well. Otherwise, Swiss cheese. He's not. The one thing he was really good at was scoring goals. He's not doing that now.
No.
I know he's not playing in the same way.
Yeah, he was better as a left wing back. I feel like that's what I'm remembering as.
But even his I'm even thinking about how many dreadful crosses he's whipped into the box at so many big moments. I'm like, normally he would be flying in, Yeah. But you compare our right side of the team to the left side. It's like not even like up as you go further. Like the right side of Reece James and Gusto, probably the 2 of the best right backs in the league. To have them compete, Gusto's incredible. Madueke on the right, or Palmer on the right. Unreal. And then on the left, you go to Mudryk, Sterling, Cucurella, Chilwell, and you're like...
It's a struggle, isn't it?
It hurts, because the quality drop off. I think all of those players are good players, like, individually. They've got their talents. But the right side are way more consistent and way better.
Well, you see that when they bring up our attacking stats. It's like right side 80%, left side 3%.
Yeah.
Like, we know that. We are fully aware that our left side's really bad. The left. It's like, come on, spread it right.
But I think a left. But I think we're going to sell Ian Maatsen.
Yeah,
I don't want us to. I think Ian Maatsen should be our starting left back. But the issue is our team is very small, and Ian Maatsen's very small, and I think the reason why he didn't play under Poch was because the team was already really small, and to play an even smaller player in there. You saw how much we struggled in the box last year. How many goals we conceded from set pieces was nuts. I think funny enough, all the players we're now linked with are all tall players. I find that really funny. We're all linked, even like from every position we've been linked with a tall player because we know the height difference has been really bad. I think that makes it,
It's too reactionary again.
But it's because that's the one piece of the puzzle that's missing in the squad is that height and physicality. I think you have the nice tricky players. You've got like really nice technical players. You've got clever players. You've got quick players. We've got very very quick players.
No, yeah,
But physical players. Other than Caicedo, I genuinely can't tell you a physical player in the team, but past like maybe Disassi.
Oh yeah, I mean he's like a bull in a china shop though.
Yeah, but we're linked with. So we've just signed Tosin, which was the replacement for Thiago Silva. That leaves us with our centre backs being Tosin, which I'm actually really happy with that signing.
I'm excited to see him play. I'm excited. Do you think he'll play though?
I think he's the best. He's in terms of getting a squad centre back who's happy to be a squad player. I think that is the best player on the available that we could assign that fits what we need.
Yeah.
Tall, Premier League experience. He's not going to be a 9 out of 10 every game. He's going to drop a couple stinkers. Let's be honest, but he'll be all right.
If he's a 7 out of 10 every game.
But we have a 7 out of 10 centre back is fine for me when we have other better centre backs that will play more regularly. Fofana, who's obviously I'm hoping will come back ready for pre-season.
I love Fofana.
I love him when he was available, but again, he's had a big injury record.
Yeah.
Trevor Chalobah.
Big fan.
Our best defender last season,
Big fan.
in my opinion.
Yeah,
Actual defender.
Big
our best
Trev.
one.
Come on, we love you.
Gonna probably get sold though.
Yep.
And the fee for him is 25 million for Trevor Chalobah is what we're asking. Only 25 million. We signed Axel Disassi for 45 million. 45 million for Disassi, and you're sending Chalobah for 25.
Really, 25?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's the asking fee.
Did a Tottenham fan tell you that?
No, that's like Matt Law, like Chelsea, like respectable journalist, 25 mil.
Really?
Gallagher's around 50. We're asking for more. We're asking for a bit more than what we got for Mason Mount for Gallagher.
Yeah, but I know we have to sell players. Yeah. I know. We can't keep producing great players from our academy
and then just selling them.
Because
of profit.
We used to sell them because they weren't going to get in the first team. Because Lampard, because Ballack, because Essien, because so many good players. Now, we're not selling them for that reason. I was okay selling them for that reason. Oh, you're not going to get in ahead of Drogba. You're not going to get in ahead of John Terry and Ricardo Carvalho and Peter Cech and all these players.
But I also think that the development of the academy has got to a point where now we can have first-team players from the academy. Whereas I don't think it was maybe at that level before.
We just sell them. to balance the books.
Yep.
And then go and buy some matey for 100 million that's no good.
Yep.
Just keep your good academy players.
Well, I think that I've kind of think that we've there's the only academy player that we've sold so far that I genuinely wish we still had was Tamori.
Yeah. Why is he not playing for England?
Crazy by the way.
Wow. He's so good.
I think selling Mount made sense at the time.
Yeah, he can go.
Mount is a traitor. Judas,
I'm done with
we
that
hate
guy.
you.
Get away.
I think I'm trying to think of other academy players we've sold recently. I think Broyer will leave. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, but I want to give him a chance.
I'm done.
Armando Broyer,
I don't think we can. I think that's more of the issue. I think that injury killed him. He wasn't scoring a lot of goals in his first season anyway. Yeah. When he came back last season, he
struggled after his injury.
Genuinely awful.
Yeah.
Like, couldn't even get in at Fulham, who had no recognised striker at the time. They had Moniz, who ended up playing really well. And that's why Broja didn't get in.
Yeah, he was good.
But I'm fine with Broja going. I cannot, but Conor Gallagher just can't leave.
No.
Look, I appreciate we have good midfielders. I do genuinely think the one position of the pitch where I'm really happy with is our midfield. I think towards, especially the last sort of 15 to 20 games, I thought Caicedo was probably one of our best players.
He was. But when he was with Gallagher.
But because I think Enzo was unfit, and I'm not going to say that's unfair. Enzo was playing through for a double hernia or whatever.
No, I agree. Gallagher and Caicedo worked really well together.
Yeah.
And you break that dynamic of something that was working well and gave freedom to the rest of the players as well.
But I think the Chelsea hierarchy and the way they plan the squad very much see Lavia, Enzo, Caicedo being that sort of midfield three with like Andre Santos maybe and Chukwuemeka and
just filling in gaps.
Being the squad midfielders.
Yeah, filling in gaps.
Whereas I think they're fine with selling Gallagher. But I think Gallagher, after the way he played last season, made himself irreplaceable. Playing, 52 games, out of 53 games I think we played last season, which is crazy. We just cannot sell Conor Gallagher. It's crazy to me. Like,
no,
the clubs we're linked with, Tottenham, selling Gallagher to Tottenham.
Sell him to Tottenham.
Do not sell him to Tottenham.
He's too good. Stop it.
Yeah, don't sell him to Tottenham, please.
He brings so much energy to our performance. Same for England, right?
Yeah, he's
when
just a
he
good
plays
player.
for England, he brings energy. He starts the press. He brings what you want your team to do. I want 100% effort as a minimum.
Yeah.
I don't want to see people walking around the pitch. I want you to run for 90 minutes.
I don't think he has to start every game. I don't. Because I think when you want like a bit more of a technical game, he doesn't really suit technical because he's a bit too.
I don't think you need to start him against lower half teams.
No, but when you're playing City, Liverpool,
teams,
who are huge, big
you
pressers,
want energy. You want to get amongst it. You want to get just do things.
When he's in the 91st minute, he's running at people.
Yeah,
you
create
just love
stuff.
It.
Just make stuff happen with your energy.
Love it.
You don't need that against Burnley.
Yeah.
Or Sheffield United.
Yeah.
Or whoever. Mm-hmm. But you need it against the good teams.
I think
you need a spark.
What we're both agreeing on is that Chalobah and Gallagher are not players we should be selling. Or Maatsen.
Oh, but I think we all agree that we're going to sell them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to sell them.
I would much rather sell Disassi.
100%.
I hate Disassi.
I don't hate him.
No, I do. I think he is genuinely, for a guy that big and that tall, I've never seen a guy win so little headers from corners in the box. Every corner he just gets beat to. Every corner, without fail. Badiashile I like as well, but again, I would rather see Badiashile leave than Chalobah.
I like Badiashile. I like Fofana a lot.
Levi Colwill.
I love Levi Colwill. Yeah. I think he has got such a big future
Colwill
ahead of him.
Fofana should be the starting two centre-backs.
I would not disagree with that.
Or Colwill Chalobah.
Colwill Fofana, I'd go.
Yeah, but if Fofana's not fit, which probably won't be, Colwill Chalobah.
Might be fit once.
But the four, I would rather we've got 5 centre backs. I don't even think we bother with signing another one because we're still linked with maybe getting someone else in.
No,
we don't need 6 centre backs. So toss in.
Well, don't forget Reece James can play there as well.
But we don't. Yeah, but we'll play back 4.
Yeah, I know. But
unless we go to a back 5, which I would find very unlikely. But especially if you're going to invert a centre mid, and you're also going to want the width from the fullback. So, and then there just isn't a better player than what we can bring in than Gallagher right now on the market for what he can do. Like, we have the creator in Enzo. We get him Enzo by the box. He can do some lovely passes and he can get us the assists. You've got Caicedo and Lavia for that defensive rock and, breaking the play. That's what they're good at. Gallagher's that box-to-box one who can score the goals. He can score goals. He's proven it. He can do it.
I don't think we need Enzo, Caicedo and Gallagher in the team.
But Enzo, there's £100 million. Enzo's the one player that I think everyone's a bit 50-50 on, right? But I love Enzo Fernandez. I will back him to the cows come home. I think when he's fully fit, think about back that first game of the season against Liverpool last season when he's fully fit. was playing in a high energy side. Yeah. He was the best player on the pitch that day.
He was good.
And it's a shame we haven't seen more of that from him.
I
also don't think Pochettino's helped him.
No.
Pochettino playing in a box-to-box role, he wants him in the box all the time when he's tiny. And isn't a natural goal scorer.
No, he's got to be a creative player.
He's the player in and around the. Think about that in his first half season when that little whip ball to João Felix, or the Kai Havertz goal where he just clips it over the top and Havertz just volleys it. That's the Enzo. I think where his best position is in and around the edge of the box where he can just play these passes where it works.
Yeah, he's not box to box. He's not quick enough for box to box. No, he's not physical enough for box to box.
But he can win tackles. He's not that bad. He's just a bit lazy. I think he doesn't really want to get stuck in.
He doesn't want to do it.
But that's why he needs to be the player with no responsibility really, to be in and around the box, be free, and that's when he plays his best football.
And probably against the lower half teams, he's going to have that ability, or he's going to have that. Chance to be more creative. He doesn't have to run. He doesn't have to tackle. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
But I think we're going to bring on to one question for you, Scott, before we go on to our next topic.
Far away.
I want you to name me 3 players. We're going to do the next episode. We're going to talk more in depth about the squad itself. I want to talk about 3 players. If we're to buy one player now, sell one player now, and loan one player now, what 3 players and one player to loan out? What players would they be?
I mean,
no, this is on the spot, by the way.
This is on the spot. He put me out on the spot here. I mean, I would buy a goalkeeper.
Okay, give me a name.
You want a name? I would buy. Do you know what? I know he's really old. I'm still a massive fan of Jan Oblak.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say something crazy then.
No. Well, I don't know. Jan Oblak's pretty crazy, but I
don't think so.
I have watched him play at Atletico for ages, and he's one of the goalkeepers that he just makes saves that you shouldn't make.
Yeah.
He's big. He's intimidating. I know he's not a long-term solution to the problem.
But we have young goalkeepers that
we do.
And Slanina's the one that everyone's touting to be a big thing in the future.
But I really like Jan Oblak. I've liked him for years. I think he's one of the best keepers in Europe. I don't see too many.
I agree.
I mean, apart from
Courtois.
People who we shouldn't mention. Courtois is really, really good. I'm so upset how good he is.
I'm so upset with
I'm really upset how good
considering
he
he's a snake. I'm so upset.
I would have gone for Donnarumma as well.
I don't like Donnarumma.
Do you not?
I think he's a crap keeper.
I kind of rate, from what I've seen of him when he played for Milan, I rate him. I genuinely rate him. I've not seen too much about PSG.
I think that.
But I rated him.
I think that our goalkeepers are genuinely the most middle table goalkeepers.
Yeah, we've got 2 second choice keepers.
Like Jordi Petrovic, I actually quite like him, but he's not better than Asmir Begovic.
Ooh.
I'm going to make that claim. I don't think Jordi Petrovic is better than Asmir Begovic. But when they played at the club at the same time, I don't think he's better than Asmir Begovic.
I think he made some really good saves.
But he also he had one of the worst shots conceded ratio in terms of shots he should have saved conceded.
Really?
It was really. He kept out 6 less goals. He felt like it wasn't as bad as Kepa when we had Kepa in goal.
No, Kepa's hands are made of tracing paper. I can't get on board with that guy.
It's Robert Sanchez I hate with a passion.
I thought he was going to be so good as well.
Sell Sanchez, by the way. That's the one player I'm putting on the chopping block. Is Sell Sanchez. I do not want to see him in the squad next season at all. Petrovic, I'm happy to keep. I like Petrovic enough to keep him, but
I would keep Petrovic.
Sell Robert Sanchez. Sell Marc Cucurella. I know I've taken over from the. I hate him. Cameron's about to die again, so we need to be quick.
I keep him.
I think what we're going to do is we're going to wrap it up there, just so we can save footage. But thank you ever so much for listening. We're going to record another episode.
We appreciate you guys.
We're going to record another episode talking about the Euros, which is exciting. We've got the England game on Sunday, so maybe we can do a couple more regular podcasts if it's all in the format. We can.
Let's do it.
So we'll try and get one out weekly as a minimum, and then we'll try and get some more. But yeah, thank you ever so much for watching, everyone, or listening, and
or reading.
Thanks,
readers.
The audio transcript version of the podcast. But yeah, Beaven and Wright, putting the world to rights. See you later.
Peace.